Today we have the notes for Unit 7, 1A, how to simplify square roots. So we have what are called the VIPS's, the very important perfect squares. Now these are just the ones where when I take the square root of that number, I get a whole number. Obviously there's lots of other square roots in between here, like square root of 2, square root of 3. But those answers will give you a decimal form. We're looking, when we simplify, we're looking for the ones that are considered perfect. So the two columns I have here for the VIPS's are very much related to each other. So let's go here to this first one. We've got 1 squared, 1 times 1 is 1. 2 squared is 2 times 2, 4, and so forth. 4 squared is 16, okay? Now, those are related over here to when I take the square root. The square root of a number is that number times itself to give me the number underneath here. So these are going to be perfect whole numbers. First one is 1. We don't use that one a whole lot, but it is a perfect square. Square root of 4 is going to be considered a whole number 2 because 2 times 2 is 4. Square root of 9 is going to be 3. 3 times 3 is 9. I think you can see here if it was like the square root of 8, there's no whole number. When I multiply it times itself, will give me 8. So these are just a special group. Square root of 16 is going to be 4. Okay, so why don't you stop the video for a second and go fill out the rest of your columns there. Okay, so there's our list. Obviously the list is going to continue past 16. Most of the time we will stay between 1 and 12 with the work that we have to do. All right, so using those now, we have to follow some steps to simplify what we call a perfect square or a square root. So you can see here I've kind of listed the steps. The first one is we have to find the largest perfect square that is a factor of this number. Remember, factors are numbers that when I multiply them together, I get this number. So like the factors of 18 are 1 times 18, 2 times 9, or 3 times 6. Those are the factors. So of these 6 numbers right here, I want to pick the one with the highest perfect square. So these are the numbers underneath here that we're looking for. The 4, the 9, the 16, the 25, and so forth. So I want the highest one of those that is in my list here. So I think you can see that 9 is the biggest one from my list when I'm checking 4, 9, 16, 25, and so forth. So we're going to break this down into our two factors. I'll do it right over here. And just go ahead and write your two square roots right away. In the first bracket, we are going to put the perfect square, which was 9. Its factor partner is 2. So there we have 9 times 2, which gives me my 18. Now all I have to do, because I put this one in the first spot, is write the whole number for the square root of 9, which is 3. And then all I have to do is copy my second one down. Just leave it as is. So to simplify the square root of 18, I get 3 square root of 2. Square root of 24, again, I want to break it down into two factors that multiply to get 24. And I'll just go over here real quick. We can see that some of the factors, there's quite a few of them, that will give me 24. When I'm looking through my list of VIPs, I want to pick the highest perfect square. Okay, and so my list that I'm checking is going to be 4, 9, 16, 25, and so forth. So I think you can see that the highest one of this group is going to be the 4. I put the perfect one in the first bracket, and I put the partner in the second. Because I've done my previous work correctly, I've got the square root of 4, which is 2, just a plain old 2, no square root over it anymore. You can see here the square root of 4 is just a plain 2. That is substituted there. and I just copy the second one down. That is the square root of 24 simplified. Square root of 160. You can go through and just take 160 divided by 4, 160 divided by 9, 160 divided by 16, and just go through that list until you think you have the highest one. Okay, now I'll tell you the highest one is 16, so that's the perfect one that's going first, and its partner, 16 times 10, will give me the 160. Again, I've done this, separated them this way so that I can get this first number to be perfect, so when I take the square root of 16, I get a 4. Copy the second one down, and I'm done. Once in a while we'll get ones like this, the square root of 17. The only factors are 1 and 17, and really the square root of 1, even though it's perfect, doesn't really help us simplify, so this one would already be simplified. Okay, if you have any questions, let me know.